Konbanwa, I clicked turn the mic off. Hello, hello, hello. How are we all doing? Hello, Koringami. Evening, evening. Art Fabula. Are you going to be making toys while watching? Do I know what type of toys you're making? I don't think I do. Zazu. Yeah, a big thank you to Mikamura. It was nice gifting all those subs. Howdy, howdy. Hello, Voxwell. Nadheart. Nadehart. Am I getting that wrong every time? Zednik X, welcome in. How are we all doing? I have a little bit of a time sensitive issue. It's not, it's a little bit time sensitive. I like to get things done as quickly as possible. I'm using AC on and off. Vinyl toys, Japanese 60 cell stuff, vinyl toys. Did we talk to you about this before? I'm really sorry if my memory's not good. It seems vaguely familiar. That's why I was like pausing at that. I seem to remember someone else making toys. Yeah, we did. Okay. Very sorry. Welcome in. Good luck with them. Send pictures in the Discord. Whatever you make today. I'm curious. Svlifu Fifinetta. Welcome in. Okay. I've got to make that a policy, just deliberately reading all the names wrong. Yeah, so we, oh no. Oh, the stream might go down when I try and set this up. The camera is not showing. I might have to switch it back. Please don't die. Safe. Often it crashes when I try and get that camera working. Art Fabulous of Fabulous Studios on Instagram. Okay, we'll check it out. Thank you. Music. Get your thoughts straight. Hello. We are working on the color separations. Well, I did that today. And I need to paste them down. If I leave them, well, they're in a folder. So strictly speaking, I could do this tomorrow. But I got all the color separations done today, and I'd like to paste them all down. That's just best practice, because the humidity levels are changing like quite a bit. Some days it's like really, really high, and so the paper could shrink and swell. It's not such a big deal on these smaller prints, but best practice is to get them down as soon as you make them. So it's not the most interesting content, but it's got to be done. And I think we did one of these quite recently. Can't remember for what print, but we definitely did do one. Nice cup of tea. Cheers. I need to cut my hair. Sorry if you're wearing earphones. Comment. Let's just switch over and let's get into it. Let's just make sure camera is okay. Let's zoom in just a touch. Good news on the blocks. Well, I haven't carved them yet. Let's get this mic out of the way. Really should get this all organized beforehand. This is the key block. Oh, I shouldn't have focused and then moved it. Here is the key block. Can I get nice lighting on it? You can't really see. You can see it a little bit there. Sound great, crushed that. Excellent, it's working then. Yeah, we got the key block done. It did actually take 2 days. I did have to go away for a half day and do some other jobs, so I didn't get to finishing it after the stream on Friday. So I finished it off yesterday, and then instead of starting on the color separation, I just did a little bit more of the tracing. There's still a little bit left to do. Nearly done. And so today I just had a whole day working on the color separations and a couple other smaller bits that I need to do. And so that means that we're gluing things down today. I received a bunch of blocks. We've got a bunch of fresh blocks. We have 9 sheets in total to paste down. And maybe you can help me just double check to make sure I've not left any bits uncolored in. That wouldn't be good. I'm really quite happy. I'm thinking this wood is going to be very good. This is some of the stuff we got sliced up at Kiba a little while ago. I went with Dave to drop off these, get them sliced up, and he's been doing some extra. He's been trying to improve the surface of the wood, so he's been sanding them to 800 with a little bit of moistening to get the little feathery stuff up. So hopefully it's a little bit nicer, and it feels, it's not planed, but it sort of feels like it's planed. Welcome in, Sirius Samus. So I'm very happy about that. It's got a really nice feel to it. He says when it's wet a little bit, there is a tiny bit of coming off, but I think we're on the money. And the wood looks really quite good. It seems kind of hard. That might be a little tricky to print. Well, it feels kind of light. We'll see. I think it's all from the same block, same chunk of wood. Anyway, yeah, there's the. I can show you the print off. We didn't get to do the printing on stream, but obviously I did take a print off. Maybe I can hold it up and refocus a little bit. So there's the image, all printed up. They're not the most interesting lines in terms of like brush and lots of complicated stuff. A lot of it's like sort of mechanical. So like carving wise, it's just, well, you saw most of the carving on stream. It's kind of simple work. 2 days for a key block is like pretty fast. And that's not me bragging about my skill. It's just like the complexity of the design. So we're going to get in and I will show you some of the colors. This is my little stack. I take a printouts of all the colors I will need. These are not the real colors. I've boosted all the colors. I did like curves to make all the colors darker instead of going through and making all the colors like black or something, which is a faff because there's gradations and stuff. If there's some interesting stuff in here, I can point it out to you. Now you can sort of get a better glimpse at what the idea is. I'm not going to show you the final image yet. These are 8 of the colors, and then there's also one that's going to be just the rich black as well. So that makes 9. So 10 faces in total, which means I have 4 blocks here, which means we will have to use the back of the key block, which is not something I like to do. I did think about topping and tailing them. Maybe I can show you on a block actually. So I was considering to top and tail. This is the black, and then this is a red, for example. These could, in theory, both fit on with a good distance in between the colours. So this black could be carved, and everything coloured in red here would be carved. And there's like nearly 3 fingers in between. But the problem was I can do it, and if I didn't have the back of the key block, this is the way I would have done it. But if I place them like that, they'll need an L shape here at the corner to register, like the key block here. They'll need both the kagi, we call this, and the hikitsuke. So these are the registration system. And if I was to place them, you know, they'll go here and here and here and here. What that means is that the hikitsuke, the left mark, will come a little bit too close to these, and printers can do it. They can just like put a little thing there to mask, and if I was doing this block myself, that's probably what I'd do. But just extra faff, and printers would probably curse me out if I did that. We're just going to stick it on the back of the key block. The board on the back of the key block though, this one wasn't finished with the 800 sanding gritting paper. So I took a scraper to the back to try and get some of the feathering, because this block has been washed obviously to get the stuff off. So I just scraped it down. We've got some of the feathering, but it's not mirror polished like the other blocks. And also there's a bunch of like little inclusions and knots in this. I think I've chosen one that will fit fine. It's going to be fine. Don't worry. And that is where someone should cut me off and throw in the talking too much shit. Let's just get to it. I haven't marked down where the registration will go, so let's just do that now. Is the camera okay there? Should we lift it up a little bit? Refocus. Just going to use my ruler today. We're not going to use the compass. Too interested in the thought process to interpret. Is it not clear? I can go through it again. We're going to be here for a while. Miss 2001. Which of your names? Interrupt. Okay, sorry. I can't read names, and I also can't read chat apparently. 9. So I've put a number on the back of everything. Decided which blocks need to go with what. We've got some. This is number 8. So this will be for the black area. There's a couple knots here, but this area is really nice and smooth. We need a black is really difficult to. It's late. Thank you. Good excuse. Black is kind of tricky to print smoothly. It will have an undertone because it's on the key block as well, but I need a nice piece for that. Little bit hard grain line, but this is actually not too bad, the difference between the two woods. But yeah. So that one will be for that. Where is the one I'm looking for? This one. This is number 1, surely. Yeah. So this is going to be for the sky. It's got the... It's got a nice flat. You can see it's right on the cathedral grain. He's actually put this upside down. Interesting. Both of these boards are the wrong way around. Hadn't noticed that. Typically, the end grain, you want it curving down towards, but he must have looked at both the blocks and they were both. He hasn't messed up. He's probably done it deliberately. The risk with doing it like this is because the grains are going in a curve here. It's cut in a cathedral grain, it's called. So we want these rings going like this. This is how we get the nicest rings, nicest, smoothest blocks, like for carving and stuff, in the way we do it. We don't want just flat because it has no strength. It won't hold as well. So what it tends to do is it tends to lift up like this from the edges and it delaminates at the sides here. And it's not usually the epoxy that goes, it's the plywood itself that starts to separate unless the epoxy was not done very good. He checked all that when making the blocks and made pencil marks to make sure. Well, he made a decision to put them upside down. So anyway, it's a nice smooth block. I got to choose the best ones for the big wide flat cuts. This will basically be all the sky. We'll see the colours. Anthony, stop talking. Let's flip this over. And I had them all in order and then I took them out. 7, 8, 9. Let me just get these back in order quickly. 1 means this one is 9. Okay. 7, 8, 9. I've got the rough positionings where I want them. I just got to double check to make sure, like the exact position I want. That was the distance. The distance is fine. I just got to make sure that none of these spots are going to be too intrusive on the actual design. And I think we're okay there. This one I've already done, right? So we're just going to go standard. I do 7 mils for the registration as standard. If I take it a bit lower, there's a few inclusions here that really I don't want to touch. So I've just pushed it up and the design will mostly miss these. It'll hit some of the lighter ones, but I don't want to hit the darker ones. So that's where we'll put that. Let's double check. Put that. That is not at 7. None. It's like 6.5. We will put that at 7. And what are we working with? 12.5 to 14, I think is what I did. Yeah, 12.5 to 14. He may have done these on stream, so errors are possible. I think he probably he looks at each side, and because it's not super critical on these blocks because they're quite small, and what we're mostly struggling with is actually the quality of the surface of the wood. So he's choosing the side that he has to plane down the least, and he sees the least inclusions and knots and stuff like that. And so he'll have chosen those for a reason. It's not a mistake. He chooses a side that needs the least work on the finishing. Yeah, so we want the registration in the same place on every block. Oh, careful. So what did I say? 12.5 and 14. Actually, that's in the wrong place. Oh, that's that one. Let's go up through, down in the numbers. So 9, 8. Let's get rid of these. I just got to be careful with this. So this one's going to go here. I want to make sure it avoids these two knots. I'm putting it on this side of the block because this is where it's flattest. This one also has knots right in the middle. Just two annoying tiny little knots. I might have actually put it the other way otherwise. Ah, yeah, spot on. If I bring that down to 7. Oosh. Oh yeah, we're safe. Safe, safe, safe. So 7. There's 7 here as well. No. Double check. Cool. How's everyone doing? Did everyone have a nice weekend? It was my wife's birthday. When was that? Saturday. And so we went on a little excursion. We went to the Sumida Aquarium. And took her to see some fish. We actually took him when he was like really, really young. How many months was he? I can't remember. He must have been about 3 months, I guess. No, should have been older than that, surely. Anyway, around that time, we took him to like, it was not exactly an aquarium. It was more like a zoo type aquarium. Zoo with like an outdoor aquarium bit. What's this one? And he didn't really look at any of the stuff last time we went. He wasn't like really focused on anything. But he's a bit older now and he really, really loved it. Except last time he did love the seals. The seal kept coming around in circles and coming back to him. And then like, I don't know if you've heard a seal make its like blowing noise. But it has like almost like a throat signal. And it kept coming around in circles and just doing that because I think the reason he came around so often was because our boy was like really just pissing himself laughing at this sound, and the seal was like responding to it. But the fish themselves, he wasn't really interested in the other parts. But this time he was like really fascinated. It was cool. We stopped at Mukhankan on the way back, just because it's next to the Tokyo Skytree. It's a nice memory. Yeah, he was very cute. 6. Yeah, we stopped. The aquarium is just next to the Skytree. So that's really close to Asakusa. We were getting the train from Asakusa, so we just dropped in and took it to everyone. Who was working that day? Anyway, very nice. Very nice Saturday. It's supposed to have something like the... I'm going to get this all wrong. What was it? Biggest indoor penguin pool? In where? I don't know. Maybe in Japan or in Tokyo. Ooh, giddy giddy. I think we're okay. Just. 6-5. Put it down in this corner. Why? No stress. A lot of things I see with like beginner blocks, people trying this for the first time, they often go really, really big on these registration marks. They really don't need to be that big. For these smaller blocks, I'm using the Hikitsuke is 1.5 mils, and that's plenty. Just double check that. On bigger blocks, I go maybe up to 2 centimeters. Yeah, this ruler is great. I have no idea the... Is there a brand on it? No. I think I saw it on like, there's Instagram ads you get. They just suggest you things that you're looking for. I was looking for like a squared ruler, and it has like quarter mils up here. These are all like little quarter mil dots. So it's really, really cool. And because these are adjustable, like if it goes off, if the square is not true anymore, you can like rejigger it and retighten them. So like even if it gets loose, you can fix it. I really kind of like this. What's that? 6, 5, 2, 7. What number is that? Is that a 5? Ah, an S. It's for sky. Number 1. Yeah, it's really cool. What's the name again? I have no idea. I'm sorry. I have no idea. I think it's because I was looking at... Have you seen those brass compasses you use for making the circles? It was like related to that. I've been looking at them. They look really cool. I don't need one at all. But they just... I like the mechanics of them. They got like the aperture spiral thing. And the circle inside gets smaller. A bunch of overlaying brass rings. I think it was like... I saw that. And then I clicked on that website. And maybe that took me to this. I think it wasn't the original one. It was like a knockoff of this original brass thing. If you've seen the brass thing, you know what I mean. But I don't think it was the same company. I think I found it through that number 1, so I don't need that one. Maybe on the back of the block I just had. 4. Cool. I worked all this out before really well. You don't want to rely on the edge of the block. Dave bought a new circular cutter, I think. I think that's what he got. because the sides of all the blocks, they weren't square. It was like the machine was messed up. So he bought a new one. So these ones are looking, pretty square. Yeah. But the last blocks, not perfect. Unless this has gone off the square, which is possible. I do have a proper square in there as well. 4, double check. Okay. Yeah, all good. And 3. This would be 3. This is another one I wanted. Nice, smooth. This is going to be standalone colour. There's nothing going to be behind it. It's going to be a couple little red bits on top, but nothing behind it. So I needed a nice, smooth piece for this. I think we can do that. Currently working through Hokusai's drawing book, and I've never realised how much he used the compass in his work. Trying to teach myself a new drawing technique. I've always freehand everything. Hokusai didn't use a compass at all. I've worked on a Hokusai design from an original Hokusai sketch, and he didn't use compasses. He just smashes it out, makes a vague circle, and then that's the carver's job, or whoever's touching up, to work that out. There's lots of circles and stuff in his designs, but that's all done by the publishing house. If you want to see some of Hokusai's hand-drawn circles, then take a look through the images on the Great Picture Book of Everything on the British Museum's website. Yeah, between the artist and the print, the carver had to do all the dirty work. Yeah. In the past, there would have been someone in-house to do most of like the color separations and stuff like that. I guess post-war, that's when carvers started taking on those duties. More. I know Adachi had them a little bit later than that. They had an in-house drawer, but most of the independents and the smaller workshops, they started doing it all themselves. 1, 2. You'll notice as well that the numbering, except for the black, yeah, do have a look. That was a fun project to work on. It's funny, the YouTube video I made for that one, I think it's probably my best video that I made in terms of like quality and the story, and like the actual print itself is the most interesting print, but it's one of my least watched videos, and I don't understand. I think I maybe got the thumbnail wrong or something. But I think that Hokusai video, just like everything, did it well. Yeah, Dave does have a video introducing the set, the series. This one looks like it's the whole block, but actually only this portion of the block will be used. But to avoid getting any score lines or stuff in, and because I have the wood, I decided to take it all the way to the bottom, but only this top area will be printed on this. That note might be a little close there. Oh wait, I just said only the top's going to be used. Let's just double check that. I might want to put it the other way around actually. Cool. Last one. Not sure the other day why I had a problem signing out of Discord and then signing back in. Is this common? I am not well versed on Discord. I have a, I have a channel, but I'm not a frequent user of Discord. Your first channel was joining my Discord. Thank you very much. If you are interested in this stuff, you should also check out the one Koringami sent out for Japanese printmaking. There's people more active in there and more people can help you. I can give you like very technical answers and you can get questions put on here, but you should also check out the Japanese printmaking one. How many years ago did you set that up, Koringami? Here's the British Museum page with the overview of the Hokusai Book of Everything. Thank you for finding that. I think we're good. Now I need a different ruler. And I need a knife. Show. Let's get some cutting done. I'm on camera. You okay? I inherited that server. It was created back in the days by a viewer that languished for a while. I stepped in a few years ago. Oh, I didn't know that. Lots and lots of information there. Well, you're doing a terrific job anyway, Koringami. Really an unsung hero in many regards. Ooh, this wood's kind of hard, you know. Maybe not ideal for color blocks. I won't know until I get a nice skin it. That is pretty much, well, this little step too. This is what we're doing until the gluing. So if you're not enjoying this content, then maybe tune in next week. It's got to be done. What else did I have to talk to you? I made a couple of notes. Oh yeah, fun, 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 fun. Maybe some of you. I did something a bit interesting on Sunday. I've got a friend back in the UK. Like keeping in contact with friends from the UK is like a real challenge, and I basically don't talk to many people except um like I don't talk to people regularly, but I'm not very good at like keeping in contact. Neither are my friends apparently. But if it wasn't for anyway, this one friend, we when I first came here, he'd always been he like football's massive in the UK, and I kind of despised it, and all my friends know that I really I don't like football. It's one of the most common questions I get like asked people like in Japan. They hear you're from the UK and they go, "Oh, I like football. Let's let's make a bridge here. Let's communicate with this guy." And then I have to inform them, no, actually, I'm the one of the few British people who like really doesn't like it. I don't mind playing it. I just the whole culture behind it. I get the camaraderie and stuff, but it just always felt really, really culty to me. As an Italian, you hate football too. Okay, there's pockets of us weirdos in our countries that like are obsessed with football. It was just that everyone was like way too into it, and like my friend, um, he's a massive Liverpool supporter, and like it ruins his day to an obscene level that my favorite thing about football is like seeing his reactions to these things. Like if they win, he just gets so he just always drinks way too much, and he's like just so happy. But if they lose, it's like 5 days of just misery, like a dark cloud hanging over his head. It's really fun calling him out on it. The aspect of football that impresses me is how the whole stadium can spontaneously sing. Yeah, yeah, the songs are fun, but that's like in any sport. Like I've been to a single baseball game in my life. I went to see the Giants in Tokyo. I had a friend who was really into baseball. Um, I didn't get that line. And they had like a different song for each player that came out. I don't know. I think maybe there's like little quirks about Japanese like stadium what would you call it? Not ethics. I think they're probably a little bit different to the American ones. There's like the quirks about the Japanese baseball. Anyway, we're way off topic. Football, football. Do Italians dislike football? No, 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 they're fanatics. I think Korigami says he's like an outlier as well, like in his country. Um, but he convinced me that like a good way to like stay in touch would be to play Rocket League, and I hadn't played Rocket League before, and I'm really not very good at like any game where you've got like an analog stick and you've got to like aim quickly. Like strategy games like Age of Empires and Skyrim and stuff like that I really loved. I don't have much time to play them anymore, but like RPGs and strategies and um roguelikes and stuff like that I like. But like shooting games I'm awful at. FIFA I hated. Stuff like that. Italians live football 90% of the time. Yeah, the Brits are the same. Anyway, he convinced me to play this football game. If you don't know Rocket League, it's like it's football, but you're using rocket cars. We started this. Maybe I should get the shirt. It's great. It's so good. Um, yeah, Wales is more of a rugby country, but still, people in Wales, you just support rugby and football. Anyway, we started playing when I first came here, so it's been like more than 5 years now. Maybe. Anyway, yeah, we've been playing for a long time. Every weekend, just like even if it's only like half an hour, we get at least one day every weekend. It's been kind of tricky recently. We've missed a bunch of sessions, but we've been doing this. It's been great, like keeping contact with someone from the UK. Like I said, otherwise I'd probably end up never speaking to anyone like only a couple times a year. We've got we've got shirts. He bought me a shirt for my birthday one time. Uh, Maybe I shouldn't tell you the name of the team. We made a little team. It's supposed to be deliberately cringy. We're called the Flaming Sharks, and it's like there's a long backstory. Someone in school like said it honestly as like a name for when you get like little projects in class and you have to give yourself a team name. Someone came up and just went, "We're the Flaming Sharks." We were just dying from it. Really, really funny. So we're the Flaming Sharks. Really, really cringe. And we've been doing that for years. But last Saturday we didn't play. Just passing through, but it occurs to me that with the simulator games out there these days, I don't believe anyone has made a good woodblock carving simulator yet. Hmm. I guess maybe that would be kind of boring. Press square to insert knife. Yeah. So what we did last Saturday is he, along with like every other person our age, got into collecting Pokemon cards again during the quarantine, the lockdowns, and um, he got his old cards. He had a bunch of like rare ones. Well, rare now, but they were like just whatever in the day. And we actually played. I never played before. Just like collecting the cards. I'm really hot. It's so humid here. Press X to doubt quality of wood. I think the wood's okay. We're looking good. I don't know what like the general age of my chat is. Maybe like people don't care about Pokemon. I had a lot of fun reliving my childhood playing Pokemon cards. Not that I ever played it properly. But it was so convoluted because I don't have my deck here in the UK, the cards I had as I was a kid, and I wouldn't play with it anyway because he's put a lot of money into these cards. So the decks are like stacked. There's like all legendaries and stuff. He set up a little camera and he like shuffled, created a deck without looking at it. Set up a little camera. I had to like each card that was played, Google it and open up a separate tab. It was a nightmare. It was a convoluted mess, but it was a lot of fun. So after everyone was put to bed, that's what I did on Sunday. Missing some of the chat maybe. I have a buddy who's a football American style nut. I do watch the local team when I remember it's on. I don't much like the culture of the game anymore. Generally, it's too distracting. But now let's talk baseball. I know nothing about baseball. Midna, welcome in. Hello, hello. Let's just catch up on chat. Give me a second. Anyway, I can't find the one I was looking for. So that was my weekend. Aquariums, nice little dinner. And then some nostalgic cards. Anyway, back onto the printmaking. A little fibre there in the corner. Nice looking block of wood. Yeah, I'm excited to get into them. I think they're going to be good. Time we on? Nearly an hour? What the hell? We're still cutting registrations. I gotta glue these up. How many blocks have I done? 2? Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to get a move on. Lucky for you guys, you might actually get a bonus extra long stream today. We don't need these to be rock hard. In fact, for most of them, a softer block is better.
Talking too much.
So, talking too much です。本当。That doesn't seem like 7. It is. Oh, that was you, Willie. Welcome in. I got an email that I wasn't really, that sort of put a spanner in some works. I sent away the application form. Did I do that on Monday? Yeah, that was one of the things I had to do on Monday. I sent away the application form to see the Hanaji, the Kuniyoshi samurai print I'm tracing. You can go and view things in the British Museum. They have a study room there. Each department has their own study room, and you can make a request to pull the item out, have a look at it. And I planned my whole UK trip with this in mind. Like, we were going to come down to London. I found hotels in London to come the day before, spend the night in London, come down early. Like, that gives me 2 days there that I can do like any filming with Kapsin-san and any filming in the study room, looking at the print, and just my own, like, comparing the prints and stuff. Anyway, I thought I had 2 days, but I just got an email back today, just like 5 minutes before the stream, that at the study room, at least in the Asian department, is only open on Wednesdays and Fridays. And the day I'm flying back and the day before was like Saturday, Sunday, maybe. So neither of those are going to work. So it looks like I will have to do. Haven't given it much thought yet, but my initial thinking is that I'll probably have to just try and do it in a 1 day. The UK trains are expensive. Yeah, no, it's not great. So I guess we're there for 10 days, sort of like midweek, probably on the Wednesday. I have to travel. It's a 3.5 hour train if you get a nice train. Straight through. If I have to do changes and stuff, it's a nightmare. Luckily, it's not so far from Euston. I guess I could even walk from Euston, can I? It's about 20 minutes maybe. This block's a bit softer. Interesting. Maybe as we're moving through the layers of the wood, it's like getting more towards the outside. If you book the trains, you can get deals. Leaving it to book at the station is the worst thing to do. Yeah, no, I'll be booking trains beforehand. But they're just so expensive. Last time we went back, I was really shocked. When I was in university, like my first couple of years, I used to travel back like once a year, I guess. And just each year it crept up, and I was like the big jump from when, because it'd been like 5 years since I last went back to the UK when I went last. I've only been, well, I went twice actually, but both in like a really short span, and that was last year. Yeah. It's another block done. It's just the train's like 3.5 hours, but I'm also an hour away by car just to get to the station because we live sort of rural North Wales. It's actually kind of a long day. Get up early, get an early train, 4 hours and a half to get to there, another half an hour to get to the museum, do an interview, Kapsin-san, look in the back room, look at the prints, take some footage of the prints, get back to Euston, train back another 4.5 hours. I think that's going to be a hell of a day. It's doable. Are you going to the Hiroshige exhibition? Unfortunately, it closes the weekend before I get there. I think I miss it by like 3 days or something. It's really unlucky. See you later, Coulter. Thanks for stopping by. Someone told me the British Museum is one of the rare art museums that still allows artists to visit and paint during special hours. Yeah, they're really quite accommodating for stuff like that. I'm not sure about nowadays, but during university, museum encourages to sketch, but it's never seen anyone paint. Unique experience. Yeah, I think they let you. Obviously, in the main museum part, sketching is cool. That's true with most museums in the UK. I think. I guess in Japan, they'd be a bit stricter about stuff like that. Depends on the museum. The Oda one's really strict. If you're flexible on times and book in advance, use like Trainline, you can get reasonable prices. Yeah, I've got the Trainline app. Can you book the? Can you not book the trains as a business expense? This interesting. Why don't you proposition Dave? Yeah, this is personal stuff. I don't have my own business formally. Ginkgo Hunka is just sort of an intellectual property. Send a note. No, and I think I've got to follow the times. I'll figure something out. Actually, the way I initially planned it is like we got a late flight back. Not so late actually. I think it's like 7. My plan was to get down to London really early. My initial plan was nuts. Was to get down to London early, do the interviews, and then after the interviews, go straight from there to the airport. That's why you don't do that. Isn't for the Mokankan print. Yeah, the print is Mokankan, but the video and stuff is personal. So I don't ask for stuff like that. I'm sure, well, perhaps. Dave's not tight with stuff like that, but I don't usually ask for that type of stuff. I'm not sure about these. Sorry. Send them a note. No, I did write in the thing that I was like meeting with one of the researchers there and blah blah blah, but they just I think it's not going to be possible. Halves. Nah, it's fine. We can do it. We can do it. It's just I kind of wanted, like, we were gonna have a nice day in London, maybe meet some old friends and stuff, but that's not going to be possible now. The work is extremely dull today. I'm sorry. Couple of considerations. My today's work too. We're even. The chat is riveting though, right? Okay. Get in the corner. I'm not digging in too far into these corners. It's like that's something I always worry about, especially on prints where it's like less than 5 mils. The border. You don't want to take too much off here. I've never done it, but I've always been paranoid about doing it. That cutting into the border and cutting this, maybe it's a little bit difficult. This L here, if you imagine, the printed image will start somewhere around the end of this. So I always make them a little bit the narrow side. There is a way to, on the next one I'll show you, when you've got really narrow borders, I'll show you how I deal with that. Hey, wait, you've got an in there. Maybe she could get you a look at the exhibition if they haven't pulled it down yet. Can't recall her name. Yeah, Capucine-san. No, she actually when I first propositioned her about this project and doing a little interview and stuff with her, she was like, "You got to try and get here for the Hiroshige exhibition. It's really great." And that's when I found out that my timings were just a little bit off. Last one. Last one. Messing up the thin border around the Kento is an issue I've had a few times. Interested to see how you resolve it. There's a really nifty way to do it. My advice is always check your border, and if you let me cut this. If you're worried about it, there's an obvious and easy way to like just mark it up on the block so you know you don't cross over it. Mm. Okay, one easy way is just to, if you know your margins are 5 mils, just go to that 7, so that'll be 3 here, and you just mark a little mark there, then you go 7, 3, and you just mark the little corner. Let me zoom in. So the easiest way is just to mark like that, and then if you make sure you don't cross that. But when it's still really, really small, if you've got small margins, then the way to do it, this block is not very nice in the corner here, but it's fine for the registration marks. The way to do it is do that on that side, and do one like going like that. I need to cut that. Went a little bit deep. So you do like a little V. You maintain that corner. Can you see that? You just take a little V out of each side. It's kind of tricky. Maybe I can get a bit closer. Focus. And there. It's too close, I guess. There you go. You just take a little V out the corner. Little slice on this side, a little slice on this side, and maintain that point. I don't need to worry about that, so I'm just going to take it off. Camera. Sorry, missing chat. Let's see. I usually watch VOD, so catch a live stream for once. Oh, welcome in. I've already said hello to you, didn't I? I said hello to you at the start. Make me realize how often I pause and replay when something useful and interesting details. Oh, that's very nice. I'm glad there's some moments like that. I know we've talked a lot about Pokemon cards and stuff today, so I'm glad that there's some interesting stuff. The VOD is still there for you anyway. Since I usually carve standard size prints, I'm going to carve 2 or 3 blocks with nothing but border, and use them over and over. What do you mean with nothing but border? You're just going to have a block with like a frame around? Or you just make the V smaller than usual. The problem with making the V smaller than usual, the reason you slice both sides in rather than just making a really small V is because your number one, that angle will be really steep, which means that the paper will bend in it or pull it a little too much. So you don't want to like have a really sudden thing like that. This is another reason why you don't want to go too low on the registration. But also when it's too small, I was just talking earlier that you don't want to have your Kento too big. But when they're too small, it's really unstable and you're not very accurate in that corner. And because there's less material putting pressure on the corner of the paper, when you've got a big, this is my Kento, when you've got a big thing there, the paper's supported on like a fair amount size. But if you've just got a small thing and you try and put that in, the tip of your paper there will get really messed up and it'll get all bent. I've got one of them in here. Anyway, the corner will get flimsy and it probably won't register very well because you'll damage the tip too much. So to get the length to support the paper and make sure everything's not going to like be pulled down or whatever. Just take a slice off both sides, but maintain the center bit. It's not that complicated. It's not like some secret knowledge. Through the grain. This way. You don't use nail polish on the paper? No. Definitely not for color separations. They only need to go into the paper twice. One when you're printing the key lines, and then a second one when you're putting it on this. That would be some serious overkill. And also, like, if I mess up the registration, like if I push it into the corner a little too much or something like that, I can do a little test before I send it off, and I might just shave a little bit off. Usually what happens, if it goes the other way, it's a pain. But usually what happens is it gets pushed into the corner a little too much. If you don't get it right in there, you miss the corner a little bit. Then you have to put shims and stuff, and that's kind of takes a while to fix that type of stuff. But usually it gets pressed a little bit too far if the corner crumples or something. If you're a little bit rough putting it in. I think I just understood your your comment about the borders. Are you talking about like an embossed pattern, like a decorative border? I guess that's what you mean. A decorative border, and you're going to make a couple of them, and then you can use them over and over again. I thought you were just talking about like the white margins on a print, and you were going to like have separate blocks for white margins. I was like, you don't need to do that. You just shrink your image. I think I just figured out what you meant. Okay, we're going to get gluing. I'm going to do these in a couple of little batches. Because the glue's going to dry out. We'll do one quick check of everything so you can see all the color separations right now. Whoosh. That's another carver's trick. Always use your hand. I've never had a splinter before. I don't really think you really get splinters from the type of wood chips that come up. But always use your mat just in case. Sometimes you got little tools on the stuff on the desk. Let's go through them. Quick last check. You be my eyes here. Maybe we'll do it this way. Can you see? Do I need to zoom in? So the first one is pink. Okay, first one is this. Got 10 seconds. Find some mistakes. There is a mistake on this one. First to find the mistake. This is the one to test you to see if you're on the board. Hands? Hands? No, no pink on the hands. Ramen bowl. Ramen bowl's done. It's there. Come on, this one's easy. It's like those spot the difference games. Focus a little bit. Come on, it's late. Gotta be quicker than this. There's something different about something different there on the left. My left, your left, my left. Well, are you saying one of the images there's something different on them? I just told you there's something different. The one on the left is different. Other side of the car, there we go. Thank you. Midna, well done. Yeah. I gotta remember about that, so I put a little mark there. The one on the left is different. Yeah. I had missed a line when I was drawing it, and then when I started colouring it, I was like, hang on, these lines don't really work out. So I caught it myself, and I just put the line in. Sure, leave it blurred and asses. It's pretty obvious, I think, actually. Leave it blurred and then judge you for not having sharp enough eyes. This one is fine. I want to keep these in order. Okay, we'll go 9. We don't need to worry about 8. 8. Next one is the red. Red. So you guys are going to be maybe not super helpful in finding mistakes, eh? I think we're okay here, right? 2 lanterns, jug, 2 lanterns, jug. 4 lanterns, okay. And the ramen sign. That's supposed to be the black hole in the background. No comment. No, it's a hamburger. It's the Burger King logo. We talked about this last time. Burger King. I think we're okay, right? That one's fine. Moving on. Next we have the dirty brown. Or dirty yellow. This one seems okay, yeah. Fluffinetta thinks it's a super void. I'm not sure what a super void is. I'm going to be more careful with this one. I have already spotted a mistake. Come on, quick. The bar on the right. Yeah, there you go. You got it, the bar. This is why we double check just before, because I was in a bit of a rush to finish these off. My son came home just as oh, no. Sorry. These are not the same colour. Well done. It was the dirty brown one. At least someone's on the ball. Well done. Okay, this is the correct one. Those are different colours. They are very similar. Anyone see any mistakes? We'll go down here to 2. These ones, dun. Most of this will be done with a knife. Up here. Okay. Pattern, dot. Down the bottom, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1. 1. There was a little bit thing there, but I've already put a mark. It seems okay. I think we're good. His hat, a bit inside, the handle. We're okay. Next one is one we were looking at. Yes. The bar is in there. We're okay. I'll keep my fingers out the way. Ah. No one's caught it? Yeah. Who's that? Severos. I'll just mark that like that. That'll be clear. Cool. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I think other than that, we're good. On the door, the hinges. Yeah, I should make that clearer. Well done. I didn't colour them in, but I wasn't very careful there. I'll do that. Saturn looks cool. Anything else? I think we're good. Next is blue. What do you think? Other people have no faces. Yeah, shocker. What a surprise. Dave doesn't like faces. This one is the yellow. Under the customer vehicle. Under the customer vehicle. Hang on a second. Under the customer vehicle. This bit. What's wrong? Looks fine to me. That's supposed to be full black. Ah, this section. That will be. I'll run my knife. I'll run my knife along here, and I'll run it underneath. But it's all good. Thank you. Yellow. This one's pretty straightforward. Just make sure I've got these sections. Other than that, I think we're good. You thought the nose faces were the Jed thing. It's a combination. I think we're okay. Yeah, moving on. It's this one. Can you spot the mistake in this one? Yeah, where is the mistake? Under the ramen is missing. Under the ramen is missing. In the blue one, yeah, correct. Not. Are you talking about this one? Yeah, the window in the customer car. That's not a mistake by me. That's a mistake in the image I was given. That's a mistake I found. Atalicento made a mistake. But don't worry. We've got a bunch of eyes on it, and I caught this one. I think other than that, we're okay, right? I can't just like switch my brain off and read the chat, just like waiting for you guys to spot the mistakes. I think we're okay. Anything past here, obviously, is not really going to be used, but it's good to have it in there just in case they drag the gradation down a little lower. Last one. We don't have eggs in this chat. I think all the dots are there. The dots are there because I have to double check them against these dots. These ones go inside the other ones and they got to be registered really carefully. So I've been through all the dots really carefully. Boo, Atali Sento. I think we'll let them off. Can you see anything? Like I said, the dots I've been over multiple times. See the windows here. Inside, I'm going to like this print so much. Don't look at the colors, obviously. I've really cranked down all like the curves. So it's going to be a double gradient. There's going to be a couple different colors, but these are not the colors. Seems okay. I think we're good. What time is it? Hour and a half. We've reached the end perfectly. I've still got to glue these up though. But it does involve a bunch of me going back and washing my hands. What do you guys think? Do we roll tide, keep going? Or do I leave it and just have a peaceful 15 minutes gluing everything up? Was that great? You can take it back. You don't have to take it back. I don't think I said anything so bad. Show and tell. Show and tell. Here's some prints I made earlier. I actually made a couple of extras. I am trying. Was it you, Flyfish, who was mentioning about the Hanstagami? I said I got a stack of new papers from Dave. I'd run out. Not Dave, from Asuka Sensei. And he had some Hanstagami there. I am testing some Hanstagami on this one. Usually I use, it's called Awazeshi Gampi. I've put in a couple sheets of Hanstagami, and already actually I don't like it. This one is the Hanstagami. Look at the paper. Maybe you can't see. I'm not super happy with it. You can't see. God damn it. No, you can't see. There's a bunch of creases and it's not as strong. It's coming apart already. I haven't handled this that much, you know. Awazeshi Gampi, it's already, unless it peels, I'm not going to be using it again. Well, I've got some, I'll use that stuff, but I think we were talking about Matsumura. Yeah, the paper from Matsumura. He's got two different types. I use one called Awazeshi Gampi. He also sells a thing called Hanshitagami. And they're both for the same purpose. But I'm testing out. So far, I don't like the Hanshitagami. I think the Awazeshi is stronger, more stable. And less creases. The creases annoy me. I need glue. What do we say? Do we raid off and Taryn has a peaceful little bit to glue these down? Or do we just have a bit of a quiet gluing session? You've seen this all before, right? I can definitely work quicker without the stream. Oh, I won't take that long. This will be done in like maybe like 15 minutes. Let's do one and then you can see what you think, okay? I'm late to the party, just wanted to say hi to everyone. Welcome in, everyday Carrie. A little bit late to the party, but luckily for you, it's rolling on just a little bit extra now. Maybe I should zoom out a little bit. Focus, focus. As long as we don't get you on a roll again. Yeah. You guys have behaved today. Can we do 4? I can push it. Bit Buddy Holly there. Who else has a 36-degree hanging towards their EDC? I like that. Did I show you my hangy thought on a keyring? I have an annoying problem called work that interferes with my Twitch viewing. There's always what's... Yeah, this is Hanstagami, I think. Already the corner's messed up. I don't like it. 06. Yeah, I'm not a fan so far. Giving me my old reliable back. Let's just wipe the edges. I leave it 5 minutes before I do the Baron on the back because these are colours. Two. Check that. These are colour sheets. Oh no. Oh, do I? What was the number 2? Could have left it. Should have left it. I got the numbers mixed up, and I worried that the reason I'd got the numbers like this was because this is the nicest piece. I did make the right decision. Okay. I'll have to remake that, which is very frustrating. I have to remake it. I could get it down quickly, but already you can see how moist it's got, and that will cause me nothing but problems. Also, I can do it on hours issue. This is what happens when you rush. I was really careful doing everything slowly. That's the first proper mistake we've seen on the stream. Anyway, you can see just how thin the Gampi is. There's the design. That's how it go. And then this is just the backing paper. Too much rushing. Time to rate. No, that's fine. That's a single mistake. But because I need these to align within these circles, I need to use a light table to check these really carefully against each other because I got to make sure the registration is perfect. So we're going to leave off number 2 as well. I'll just leave that glue. I'll wash it later when I'm. I should give it a bit of a wipe. Get some tissue. So this is homemade hamster. The paper. No, it's from Woodblock Matsmura. I buy it. I got, like I said, usually I get the awazushi. This is called hanshitagami. In concept, they're the same. It's just the way they're made. The hanshitagami has a thin piece of gampi, which is what we use for the transfers, like pre-adhered to the back of some like standard paper. And the awazushi, they sort of, my assumption is they do the rocking in two vats. So they do the pulp paper and then they rock a bit of gampi on top, or they'll let it dry and then they'll rock it on top of the paper. Now we're okay. We'll just be careful now. So number 2 we'll save. That's actually not a very difficult sheet to make. The ones that take time are ones where you have to draw in all the little bits. Right, take 2. We want block number 3. This is number 3. Now we're going to double check. Number 3. I think you missed the shadow of the tray. Check the clip. Don't worry, the last 4 minutes we edited it out. Can I watch the clip here? I think you missed the shadow on the tray. Okay. Rewatch that. On the blue. On the blue. We'll check it quickly. Give me a second. On the blue. This one, right? It's better be a mistake. Ooh, well done! Well done. It's a shame I don't give out chocolate eggs, isn't it? Well done. Who was that? Kumar UK. Thank you so much. Check that out. Can you see? Very, 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 very thank you. Thing is with this type of stuff is I'm always looking back and forth when I'm actually carving. So there's like 3 stages of checking. And I think mostly things like that I tend to catch. This is number 4. So that will be the next. Well done. Egg lacking Kuma UK. Kuma UK. Thank you for that. Okay. Take 2. way too much. Let's get number 4 ready. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. 4 is here. Quiet on set. Number 3, it's actually only the bottom. Oh, should have checked that before. Okay, number 3. Number 3. Yes, what was I saying? The reason we leave 5 minutes before I do the work on the Baron on the back to really drive it in there is because I want it to dry a little bit. I want the glue to dry a little bit. So then if you do it straight away after putting it down, this glue has got quite a lot of moisture in it and it will quickly expand. When the paper is really wet, it will expand. If you just give it like 5 minutes, it's still got enough tackiness that it's going to adhere really well, but it's much less likely to expand when you're putting like high force on it. What was the time there? 17. Number 5. Number 5. Number 5. 5's on the back, I guess. Where's number 5? 8. 1. 7. Must be on the back of this. That backing paper seems thicker than the Matsumoto hand stuff I bought. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just more sturdy. I think it's probably the same thickness. Number 4. Number 4. I think it's probably the same thickness, but because they're like sort of integrated during the making, the whole thing just feels a lot more robust, less flimsy. This one is 19. This one was 17. Next we need number 6. 1, 7, 2, 8. Number 6 will be on the back. Let's just do number, what we got? 7. Let's do number 7. Ah, something else I wanted to mention. I noticed just before the stream started as well, someone made a bench. Check the Discord. What's their name? It starts with an S. Savos, something like that. Severo. They made a bench based on the stuff we talked about. Ah, there you are. Looks very nice. I suggest you get a pole at the back, running along the back once you're happy with like the dimensions and you've played around with the angle and stuff a little bit. When you do your final legs version. But it's looking very nice. It's cool to see like stuff we talk about actually be like useful to people. I like it. This is number 7. I need number 7. I believe it's this one. That's number 6. That's number 5. That's number 1. That's number 7. Ooh, my fingers are sticky. I'm going to wash my hands quickly. I'll be right back. When it was 23. Ooh, we're cutting it close. 23. 19, 17. This one. Same at the bottom. So all the glue is much drier now, much less likely to spread. '23. We're now on 24. Give that a second. Let's just reorganize this stuff. This one at the bottom. Really annoying that I have to redo that. There's a cross break at the back, just can't see it in the photos. Ah, okay, cool. The next thing will be a pit for your legs, yeah. Ah, you can move it on top of some shelves. Cool. Nice idea. Let's get pasting. Get these in order now. I'm going to go from 6, then we'll move on to, no, we'll go 5, then we'll go 6, then we'll go 8, 9. Yeah. 5, 6. Okay. Hang on a second. 5, the registration isn't cut. So we'll skip 5. I'll paste that down tomorrow. I'm doing some anyway. That one can wait as well. So we'll go 6. We'll go 6. And then we'll go 8. And yeah, we'll do one last little run here. And then the other 3 I'll leave for tomorrow. That's a total of 9. Yeah, that works. We'll do one more round and then we'll end upstream. And then the other 3 I'll paste tomorrow. Blame it in the chat. Yeah, that would be the easy thing to do. Okay. We'll check this. Number 1 we're not doing. Number 5 we can't do. So I have 1, 2, and then the back of the key. Do you know what? I think we might just leave it there, you know. Oh, we'll just do these 2 then. Let's just do these 2. There's an ad break coming in. Who's carving the 12th? Johnson, I think. Too much of the, like a little bit extra. There we go. That's the consistency I'm looking for. 6 into the registration. The registration. Down she goes. And the time on that one is 31. 8. Double check. 8. So this is actually just the bottom. We still got anyone left in this bonus bit. The bonus bit that no one's actually interested in watching because all the chat dies. And by that I mean me. Not the chat. I actually only need this section here. So I'm not bothering to put glue all over. Cool. This is 32. Just go wash my hands and we'll bar in them. Okay. Gotta wait just a little bit until I can burn these. In the meantime, if anyone can think of or check and see who's online, we can plan a little raid. Oh, also, we got a sub from Julia Kimball while we were offline 3 days ago. We weren't streaming then. Thank you so much. If you watch the VOD on this one. Couple minutes. Let's just see who's online for a raid. Following. Oh, Yoshua. She's online. The Kyrie. We went there before. Anyone else in the same category? Coffee, crafts and chats. Puzzle time. Come meet my fairy frog mother. That could be interesting. Any peel to score today? No, there will be no peeling. You're in the wrong chat, sir. What are we doing? 6. I think we can a little bit early. People like the peel. This paper doesn't peel like that, you know. We could take the backing paper off, but it's pretty meaningless. Tell you what I'll do for you. Next time I have to place something down, I'll make a sheet like Dave's, and I'll give you a single 10 out of 10 peel, and then you'll never ask me again. That's what we'll do. Best keeping it protected until you have to carve it. Well, on these blocks, I don't really do that. That's mostly a thing for larger, like all-band size prints. For these smaller prints, especially with like colors the size of these, like there's nothing that really needs protecting. They're all less than a day's work to do. So the reason is that this stuff doesn't really peel. I can get them, but like it's really finicky to do it, and it's just not really set up for it. Like it gets really fibrous, this stuff. I don't have a clean sheet of Gampi to start with. But we can do one for you to keep you happy, and then you'll never ask me again. On the contrary, we'll continue to badger you until we can see you recreate an original peel. Yeah, well done, Willie. You've completely weaseled your way out of the exact opposite thing you wanted to happen. There will be no 10 out of 10 peels on this chat. Period. I'll give you 1-8. Still a little bit wet. I should leave that a bit longer. I don't want to rub it anymore. We'll leave that there. I'll show you the type of thing. I really shouldn't do this. I can't peel it all back. There's not glue all over this. But like, we can peel here. We can do it. Is that enough of a peel for you? I was off camera. I don't like to do it. Dave does it when it's wet like this, and I really don't like to do it when it's wet. It's really prone to slipping, especially when the glue is still wet like this. You can really easily either go too far and go down to the board, or you can actually shift it just slightly when the board's still wet. I didn't wait long enough for this one to barren it. The Woodbond glue looks like it was sold at Daiso. I'm sure it probably is sold at Daiso. This is cheap. We don't want the extra strength stuff. I didn't get it at Daiso. I got it at a hardware store, but it's the type of glue that you could probably get there. In fact, actually, I've got some glue you could buy at Daiso. I'm pretty sure I don't. It was like a 100 yen shop. Maybe I got this one. I just needed something really quick, and the shop was closed, so I got this one at one point. It's just basic white wood glue. 8.5. Well, I promised you an 8, so you've got 0.5 extra there. Okay, everyone. Let me choose a little raid. I didn't get very far into choosing, to be honest. Let's just go to that top result. This person has a nice little garden. I don't know anything about their stream, but it looks like a pleasant little fish pond. They are called Clo Imogens? Clo Imogens, perhaps? Please go over there, say hello. It's a new streamer. We don't know who they are. They've probably been streaming longer than me. I don't mean new like that. It looks like a nice place. Please be nice. I can't stay around. I gotta go to bed. So please let her know. I'll send her a quick message. This is a fun one. Thank you all for showing up. I think we had quite a few people in today. Thank you. If there's any people who are new here, I really appreciate you showing up. Usually it's more fun. There's more technical carving stuff. But this had to be done. Unfortunately, it couldn't all be done, but I'll get it done first thing in the morning. Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your days. Peace. Bye.